Hi, welcome to the third lecture of the chapter Free Radicals. Let us start with free radical substitution reactions. And our first reaction is chlorination of alkanes. Alkanes will react with chlorine radicals to give alkyl chlorides. For example, cyclohexane plus chlorine gas in the presence of light gives us cyclohexyl chloride and hydrogen chloride. Okay, so this reaction, it is a photochemical reaction which is chlorination of alkanes. Now, how this reaction takes place? See, the first step is initiation, where that chlorine molecule in presence of light undergo homolytic cleavage. So each Cl will get one electron. So there is a formation of chloride radical. Then second step is propagation. In this case, one of the hydrogen from this carbon is taken by Cl radical. So there is a formation of cyclohexyl radical plus HCl. Then that cyclohexyl radical react with another molecule of chlorine and takes Cl from that molecule, and there is a formation of cyclohexyl chloride along with again one Cl radical. Then next step is termination. In termination, the two Cl radicals combine with each other to form chlorine molecule, or the cyclohexyl radical combines with Cl radical to form cyclohexyl chloride. So the chlorination of alkanes involves three steps. First one is the initiation, second one is the propagation, and last one is the termination. Now, when the chlorine radical abstracts a hydrogen atom from the cyclohexane, only one product can be formed because all 12 hydrogen atoms are equivalent. So when we consider the cyclohexane molecule, okay, in case of cyclohexane molecule, there are 6 carbon atoms and each carbon atom has 2 hydrogens. So there are 12 hydrogens and all 12 hydrogens are equivalent. Therefore, there is a formation of only one product. For other alkanes, this may not be the case, and mixtures of alkyl chlorides can result. For example, see, propane is chlorinated to give a mixture of alkyl chlorides containing 45% of 1-chloropropane and 55% of 2-chloropropane. See, this is propane. That propane undergo chlorination in presence of light. So we get 1-chloropropane and 2-chloropropane. Now, in this case, if we consider these 2 carbon atoms that have hydrogens which are not equivalent. So this first carbon atom have 3 hydrogens and this second carbon it have 2 hydrogens, okay, and that are not equivalent. So the 2 different products are obtained. First one is the 1-chloropropane whose proportion is 45%, and second one is 2-chloropropane whose proportion is 55%. And the molecule isobutane, this is isobutane, it undergo chlorination in presence of a light to give the first product, which is isobutyl chloride, which is in the proportion of 63%, and second one is the tertiary butyl chloride, which is 37%. Then second reaction is bromination of alkanes. Okay, now when we compare the bromination of alkanes with chlorination of alkanes, then it is observed that the bromination of alkanes is more selective than chlorination. See, bromine will also halogenate alkanes, and it does so much more selectively than chlorine. For example, the following reaction yields tertiary butyl bromide with less than 1% of the primary isomer. Okay, so this is isobutane. That isobutane undergo bromination in presence of light. Okay, so this is the tertiary isomer and this is the primary isomer. Now when we see the proportion of product here, that tertiary butyl bromide, it is in proportion of greater than 99%, and this primary isomer, it is less than 1%. So that proportion was not observed in case of a chlorination of alkane. If we see the same reaction, see here, the chlorination, it gives one product 63% and another is 37%. But in case of bromination, that tertiary butyl bromide, it is greater than 99%, and the primary isomer, it is less than 1%. Now, why this happens? See, in this case, the first step of the radical chain reaction, that is the abstraction of hydrogen by Br radical, is endothermic. So this word is important, that reaction, the first step is endothermic. It means that heat is absorbed for both the primary and tertiary hydrogen atoms, but more so for primary radical formation. So the tertiary radical is preferred. So see, the both the primary and when we consider primary and tertiary hydrogen atoms, the abstraction of that hydrogens by Br radical, it is endothermic. So endothermic means heat is absorbed, but more so for primary radical formation. So whenever there is a formation of primary radical after the abstraction of hydrogen, that primary radical formation process, it is more endothermic. So it requires more heat. But if we consider the reaction, our reaction is photochemical reaction. Okay, so the tertiary radical is preferred because the tertiary radical formation, it is less endothermic. It requires less heat. Okay, the primary radical formation require more heat, and as our reaction is photochemical, therefore tertiary radical is preferred. So that question is important. Okay, why the proportion of products, the proportion of tertiary isomer is more in case of bromination of alkanes as compared to the chlorination of alkanes. Then next point is allylic bromination. See, here is a typical allylic bromination. NBS, N-bromosuccinimide. See the structure. This is N-bromo. Bromine is attached to nitrogen, so it is N-bromo, and this is succinimide. Is used to form a small amount of bromine and to keep the bromine concentration low. See, suppose this is our cyclohexene, and it reacts with NBS, that is N-bromosuccinimide, in presence of carbon tetrachloride under photochemical condition. So we get allylic bromination here, and see the yield, it is 85%. Now, what is the use of NBS? That's important here. The NBS is used to form a small amount of bromine. Okay, it gives a small amount of bromine and keep the Br2 concentration low. So with the help of NBS, we can keep the concentration of bromine low. Therefore, only one position can be brominated. So that is the use of NBS. It keeps the concentration of bromine low. Now see how. If we consider this reaction, see, photolysis of bromine initiates the reaction, which then propagates as shown below. The mechanism also illustrates the first aspect of selectivity. Now see, this is carbon-carbon double bond, and this is allylic carbon atom. Okay, that two hydrogens are here, which is shown in green, and that two hydrogen atoms, which is again a secondary carbon hydrogen bond. Now see, only a green allylic hydrogen atom is abstracted because an allylic carbon hydrogen bond is considerably weaker than a secondary carbon hydrogen bond. Now here there is a comparison of these two carbon atoms. This carbon atom is allylic carbon atom and this is a secondary. Okay, now in this reaction, that secondary carbon hydrogen bond does not undergo cleavage. Only the allylic carbon hydrogen bond undergo cleavage. Why? Because allylic carbon hydrogen bonds are weaker, so they can easily undergo cleavage to form a radical which is stable radical. Okay, then that allylic radical takes Br radical from bromine molecule to form allylic bromide with the formation of one Br radical. So this is the mechanism of this reaction. Now there is a problem with this reaction if bromine itself is used, because an alternative radical addition reaction can compete with radical abstraction. Now this point will explain us why bromine is not used for the allylic bromination or why NBS is used. Okay, see, here we have cyclohexene. If first Br radical combine with this carbon atom, this step is a reversible step. Okay, there is a formation of that radical. That radical take again second bromine or bromide from the bromine molecule, and here bromination take place. So there is a formation of that 1,2-dibromo compound. Okay, now this happens whenever there is a more concentration of bromine, or when we use Br2 for the bromination purpose. When we use Br2, so there is a formation of, so there is a more concentration of bromine. Okay, then at that time the first Br get attached here and the second Br get attached here, so there is a formation of dibromo compound. See, the first step of this competing addition reaction is reversible. This is reversible. The reaction is driven forward by the participation of a second molecule of bromine. Okay, if we use only Br2 in this reaction, then the second molecule of bromine gives us Br. That traps the product alkyl radical. So it traps that alkyl radical. So we get 1,2-dibromo compound. Now this side reaction can be prevented if the concentration of bromine in the reaction is kept very low, and which is the role of NBS. Okay, so here we don't want to form this 1,2-dibromo compound. We want to just form the allylic bromide. Okay, so for that purpose we have to use NBS. So this is the importance of that NBS, that it keeps the concentration of bromine low, so that only one carbon atom can be brominated, as like this. So the bromination takes place only at this position, and not the addition of bromine to these two carbon atoms takes place here. Okay. Now, while radical halogenation of alkanes is used only rarely in the laboratory. Okay, the radical halogenation of alkane is used rarely in the laboratory. Radical allylic bromination of alkenes is a versatile and commonly used way of making allylic bromides. Nucleophilic substitution reactions can then be used to convert the bromide to other functional groups. For example, see, this is our alkene. It reacts with NBS, N-bromosuccinimide, in presence of carbon tetrachloride under photochemical condition. So allylic bromination take place. Okay, then there is a nucleophilic substitution reaction when we react this compound with water in presence of potassium carbonate. Then nucleophilic substitution reaction take place, and that bromine is replaced by OH. So this is the application of this reaction. Okay, so we have seen the radical halogenation of alkene is used rarely in the laboratory, but radical allylic bromination of alkene is a versatile and commonly used way of making allylic bromides, and nucleophilic substitution reactions can then be used to convert the bromide to other functional groups. So here that bromide is converted into hydroxide. Okay, again the steric effect also play a role here in the regioselectivity of the reaction. Only the less hindered allylic hydrogen atoms further form the tertiary butyl group are removed. See here, when we compare these two carbon atoms, it is hindered due to that tertiary butyl group. Okay, and this is less hindered, therefore bromination take place at this site. So this is about the allylic bromination. So in today's lecture, we have seen the free radical substitution reactions. We have started with chlorination of alkanes. Okay, then we have seen the mechanism of that chlorination reaction, initiation, propagation, and termination. Then we have seen that when we consider the cyclohexane molecule, in that molecule all 12 hydrogen atoms are equivalent, therefore we get only one product. But when we consider other alkanes like that propane, here the 3 hydrogens of first carbon atom and the 2 hydrogens of the second carbon atom are not equivalent, so we get 2 products, the mixture of a 2 products. Then we have again seen the example of that isobutane. Then we have seen that the bromination of alkanes is more selective. So when that isobutane react with bromine under photochemical condition, we get that tertiary isomer in the proportion of greater than 99% and primary isomer less than 1%. Then we have seen the reason of this proportion. The reason is that the first step is endothermic, and for both the primary and tertiary hydrogen atoms, but more so for primary radical formation, so the tertiary radical is preferred. This point is important exam point of view. Then we have seen allylic bromination. Always remember, for allylic bromination, NBS is preferred, N-bromosuccinimide. Then we have seen why NBS is preferred, because that NBS keeps the concentration of bromine low. And then we have seen in this example why only Br2, that is bromine, is not used for the allylic bromination, because there is a more concentration of bromine, and the instead of allylic bromination, the addition to across this carbon-carbon double bond takes place. Okay, then we have seen this example or application of that allylic bromination. And I have used reference book for this lecture, Organic Chemistry by Jonathan Pledon, Nick Greaves, and Stuart Warren, a book by Oxford University Press, which is a very famous book used by the organic chemistry teachers, students, and researchers. Thank you.